In this video, I'm going to reveal the future of YouTube ads and paid advertising in general, where the industry is going, and what you need to do in the next 1 to 3 years to stay ahead in the YouTube ads game, and what you need to do in the next 10 years to stay ahead in the whole advertising game. Before we get into this video, guys, make sure to just smash that subscribe button and hit that like button so I keep getting some of that algorithm love so I can keep making 5 videos a week for you. Alright guys, so I wanted to make this video because recently there have been a lot of changes with YouTube ads. As you've recently seen, we had iOS 14 happen a few months ago, and that really made YouTube ads a little bit more difficult. It made Facebook ads a lot more difficult as well. It made all advertising a lot more difficult. And then recently with YouTube ads, Google has taken away the ability to exclude display. And what that means is that you now have to run ads both on YouTube and display. And on top of that, Google also took away the ability to choose between responsive and in-stream. And now it's all in-stream ads. So what that means is a lot of control has been taken away from advertisers. And also what that means is privacy has become a more and more of a bigger concern. So there are a few key trends I want to point out here. Number one is that advertising is becoming more algorithm based and the algorithms are taking over, right? So this is actually good news in many ways because it means your job as an advertiser becomes easier as you just have to focus on the creative. However, it's also bad in some ways because if your major value is just being able to really understand the targeting and the technical side, then you're going to lose that value, while the people who are great marketers and great at creatives are going to win out. On the algorithm side, what this means is you as a marketer, whether you're an agency or whether you're in-house or you're selling your own products and offers, you will need to focus more and more on the video ads and the creative and also on the offer and funnel, right? As targeting slowly becomes more and more automated, you will have to focus more and more on creating a market message fit that just works and creating video ads that really grab attention and are much better than anything out there right now. A lot of marketers are kind of lazy with their ads. They like to use templates. They like to kind of take it easy. Really, what's going to work in the next coming years is video ads where we actually put in a lot of effort, right? Instead of spending 1 hour shooting an ad, you're going to have to spend a few hours coming up with an idea for shooting an ad, and you're going to have to really spend a whole day just figuring out how to make this ad as funny, as good as possible. And this is a trend we're seeing where advertising agencies are basically becoming creative agencies. Even at our agency, we've started offering more creative services where we focus more and more on the video ads and creating many variations, as testing is the key to success with YouTube ads. You don't know what's going to work until you test it. So what we're doing with our own marketing team is we actually have built out a very in-depth creative department where we have multiple team members, from creative coordinators to editors to script writers and so on. So that's where I see the future of YouTube ads going, is the creative's going to become more and more important, creative services are going to become more important, and advertising agencies are going to do two things. Number one is they're going to build really amazing creative for their clients. And number two is that they're going to work with the algorithm to get the best results out of the algorithm. So instead of, let's say, being extremely technical and controlling every single factor, in the future, what's going to happen is you're going to just be a lot more focused on the creative and a lot more focused on giving the algorithm the right data, right? So making sure your tracking setup is set up properly so the Google algorithm gets the best data possible. So then it can go out and find those customers. And that's a major trend we're seeing. Now, another key piece that advertising agencies will do, which a lot of them won't do right now, is actually helping their clients with their offer and their funnel and really being able to create a message that actually cuts through the marketplace and reaches those customers and grabs their attention. I think what we've seen in the last 4 to 5 years is a lot of ad agencies being built that were focused purely on the technical media buying and the algorithm and a little bit on the creative. And now what's going to happen, it's going to focus much more on the creative as well as advising clients on offers, funnels, and helping them out with that side of things as well. Now, let's talk about the privacy concerns, right? So as we've seen with iOS 14, Apple has really hamstrung our ability to track conversions from iOS as well as targeting as well. With Facebook, for example, targeting is much less exact than it used to be. And what this means is that broader offers are working better now. So the offers that really work nowadays are much more broad. If you're dependent on just targeting a very specific niche and then relying on the algorithm to be able to reach those very specific people, it's become tougher to do that. So the advertising agency is in a bit of a weird place right now, where on one side, you have this trend of increased privacy from Apple, where basically it makes our job harder. But on the other side, we're also having less control taken away. So it remains to be seen how Google and Facebook respond. It's possible that they will roll out new technology that allows you to target and track much better without necessarily violating individual privacy and without violating Apple's iOS 14 rules. So that still remains to be seen. What I want to leave you guys with is that the fundamentals are more important than ever. So being able to write really great copy, having a great offer, cutting through the noise with a clear message to the people that are your buyers, these are all extremely important. And I think in the last few years, as advertisers, we kind of forgot that because results were easy to get, right? You could have offers and funnels that were mediocre and still they would be able to make money. So nowadays, you just have to get back to the fundamentals. And then the creative is massive. So as an ad agency, we're investing extremely heavily into our creative services department. And I highly recommend you do that same. Whether you're an advertiser that's in-house or whether you're an ad agency, you really have to focus on creative over the next few years. So guys, that's kind of where YouTube ads are going in the next few years. Now let's talk about the future of advertising. And this is a bit more speculative. I don't know if this is going to be true. I don't know where it's going to head. However, I do have a few theories. So recently what we've seen is a big shift towards Web 3.0 with cryptocurrencies, crypto gaming, and more. So what I see in the future is both users and publishers getting revenue from advertising. Right now, you use Facebook, you don't really get anything out of using Facebook. Obviously, you get the service, but all the advertising revenue is really kept by Facebook. And then obviously the advertisers also make money from selling products. However, imagine a world where both users and Facebook make money, right? So obviously, I don't know if this is going to be Facebook. I don't know if it's going to be Google or YouTube. It might be a new service and it might be new forms of advertising. But the trend I see is that we'll have a future where basically, as a user, you could decide how much advertising you want to see, and you could decide how much data you want to give away to advertisers and publishers. And based on that, you would earn a percentage of, let's say, the ad network's revenue. And this could be huge because right now we are basically being monetized on Google and Facebook, and that's how these companies make massive profits, yet we don't really get a share of that. So in a way, it's not very win-win, and people are going to eventually move to platforms where there's more decentralization and where there's more of a split of revenue between both the advertising network and the end user that's making it happen. As we're seeing in the crypto world and in the Web 3.0 world, users are getting rewarded for being early adopters. Recently, there was an example where if you bought an Ethereum domain name, which wasn't that expensive, I think they're selling it for $10, but obviously gas fees would be on top of that. And you basically got airdrop tokens from the Ethereum name service company. And some of those tokens are worth a lot of money, right? They just rewarded their early adopters with thousands of dollars for basically being first to the platform. So we're seeing more of a shift where platforms are being built both with users and developers, and everybody's working together, versus right now where it's kind of a centralized company that owns these big platforms that everybody relies on. So the future of advertising is going to be decided with users having much more control of their data, as well as advertisers and publishers winning as well, because everybody's going to win. When users actually can see that, hey, I can earn 3 times more from using this social media platform if I just give away more data to the network so they can target me with more relevant ads, I think that's going to change things a lot, where people are going to be much more cool with letting advertisers target them with more specific offers. Another key part of this is the whole metaverse concept, right? Facebook rebranded to Meta. This is huge if you're an advertiser, right? What this means is advertising is going to happen in the metaverse in the future, right? There's going to be these virtual worlds where you'll put on your headset and it's basically you will be on there and you'll be able to see ads in that world. So the first few agencies that start specializing in marketing in the metaverse are going to be rich. So as the metaverse develops, I'm going to be really keeping an eye on it. I think with my agency, Linx Digital, obviously we're extremely focused on YouTube ads right now. However, as time goes on over the next 4 to 5 years, I'll be keeping an eye on for any potential opportunities with advertising in this whole new Web 3.0 world, especially with these metaverses that are coming out with Decentraland and with Sandbox and so on that are being developed, where they're pretty much virtual worlds right now. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know I went a little bit off the tangent with getting into the metaverse and Web3 and crypto. However, I do advise as an agency that you do look into what Facebook's doing with its transition to Meta. I mean, they literally renamed their company. That's how big it is. So in 10, 15 years time, advertising is going to be completely different. And it's important to stay up to date on what's happening. So guys, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button and let me know what you think of this video. Do you want me to make more videos like this where I go speculative mode and talk about the future of ads? Or do you want me to keep talking about YouTube ads tactics that are working now?